start to make a classic.
And I'm scared that if I keep inflating my own ego and burying all my crippling insecurities, my shit's gonna pop.
I think everybody is a paradox. Within us all, everybody contradicts themselves every day. Everybody is a hypocrite at times. Sneako is very self-aware. You know, that's one of the best things about him, but it's also one of the worst things about him, ironically.
In reality, I'm guilty of all the stuff I'm criticizing. I care what strangers think about me online.
Hey, how's it going, Wizard? And welcome back to a new extra funny video. I had my friend Gage back from the army killing people overseas help me out pick out some props at the store. So he got some nonsense. We couldn't find regular Mentos, so we got fruit flavored, individually wrapped, chewy mint Mentos. So we're gonna see today if these will work. Look at this dude. Anyway, don't worry, I'm getting into the Sneako stuff soon. Okay, don't click off the video. I filmed all this footage. I gotta use it. Okay, so just give me a second. Come on, patience, guys. Just in case it doesn't, I gotta do something crazy. So, wow, it's so crazy. Oh, it's working. All right, so originally I was gonna do like a long, drawn-out bit. I don't like the taste of Diet Pepsi, so haha. Here I am drinking something I don't like. Oh, that's so funny. So today we're going to be talking about a channel called Sneako. He makes pretty cool videos on train tracks. So yes, this is an homage. We're homaging out here. Haha. He's got 878,000 subscribers. He's encroaching upon 1 million. And I've been watching this dude for a long time. This video is going to be a little bit different because I like him a lot. I really like his videos. And I've liked him as a person, you know, for a while. I think he's a pretty interesting fellow. Ain't in the talking, nigga, la. Ain't been the same bitch since I got shot. More than anything, this video isn't hate, and it's not outright praise. It's simply meant to call attention to the fact that Sneako is rising in popularity each day. This channel has a collective like 70 million views now. And so when you've got a lot of people looking at you, when you've got a lot of new fans and new followers, I think it's probably pretty easy to lose yourself a little bit, to lose a little bit of your vision, to kind of start feeling like you've maybe got something to prove, or that maybe you've got nothing left to prove, and now you're at where you want to be. And first thing I want to say is, Sneako, if you happen to watch this somehow, keep making good videos, keep pushing yourself forward. But remember, you're just a guy, not a god. The first video I ever saw by Sneako was a video called "Would You Say the N-Word for $1?" It's a good video, you know. It's pretty social experimenty, kind of divisive, but it's an interesting concept for a video. I clicked on it. Honestly, I remember my first thinking, like, from the thumbnail and the title, I was like, this is gonna be one of those like man on the street kind of just gimmicky.
When is it okay to cheat?
But I watched it, and, you know, there was something different with him. The way he spoke to the camera, the editing style was very unique.
Today's the first time that I'm sober. And my excuse is that I'm prescribed for ADHD. I thought the doctors were just like scaring moms into buying little Timmy some meth pills. Even though I'm prescribed Adderall, I don't like to call it a medicine though.
He started 7 years ago doing like gameplay, Call of Duty videos and stuff, and he's become a filmmaker. He's good at editing, he's good at picking his music, and he's good at pulling from other inspirations. He's got a tattoo on his arm of the song Runaway, a clip from it by Kanye West. I think it speaks to how he pulls from inspirations from all over. You know, you see it in his videos, he uses a diverse range of music, and he does the same thing with film and television and other YouTube videos. He'll throw in some clips here and there, and I think that's really cool. Me, as an editor, somebody who's always looking for inspirations, always looking for something new to pull from, he's shown me a lot, right? I have to admit, you know, a lot of my videos would not exist if I hadn't watched Sneako for the last couple of years. I think consistency is key, and I respect it when somebody puts in the extra effort that people might not notice. You know, little things here and there that the average viewer is not going to even pay attention to, but you still do it because it's easy to fall into patterns. It's easy to find a formula for what works, especially on YouTube, and to just cater to your fan base and make the same thing over and over and over again. And I feel like with Sneako, He's never comfortable. He's always looking for some new thing to do on his channel, and he puts out pretty consistently good content. What's the next line, Mikhail? Why do you do it? I think something that Sneako has taught myself and many other artists and YouTubers online is that when you're looking for feedback from people, when you're sharing your work, your videos, whatever it may be, with friends, families, and strangers on the internet, you have to remember that you have something important to say, something unique, something to offer to the conversation. It's very easy to build up this sort of self-doubt, this self-deprecation, this kind of constant habit and voice in your head, a tendency to diminish your own work. And I think whether or not it's intentional or not, with Sneako's content, I've learned that you have to push past that. You have to push past the boundary and that limiting belief that you don't have anything worth providing to people.
All of you are talented. Every single one of you are talented because no one else sees the world through the lens that you see it through.
Sneako is very self-aware. You know, that's one of the best things about him, but it's also one of the worst things about him, ironically. And that's kind of why I'm making this video. He's got a lot to say, and he thinks, you know, introspectively a lot. But the thing is that self-awareness, what comes with that is kind of a superiority complex. But despite this kind of confidence and this lack of maturity that he often can have, Sneako is a very rare case of a philosophical YouTuber that doesn't really feel sanctimonious. I think that for all his faults, all of his insecurities, and all of his public battles with his own ego, Sneako is very, very good at reinventing his content, but also at portraying the inconsistencies of man. I think something that comes with self-awareness is honesty, right? You're honest with yourself, you're honest with other people, you know? It's nice to see that honesty. It's fun to see somebody struggle with themselves and with the world in that way because it's relatable. And that's a type of relatability that will never go away. And I think people are drawn to that even if they hate the guy. Pushing new boundaries allows you to never really stagnate. You literally never know what you're gonna get. His content is honestly pretty accessible. Like if you watch his videos, the amount of controversy that surrounds his name, the amount of controversial topics that he tackles, he never really takes a stance. He always offers a hand to his viewer at the end. He's kind of just trying to pull you in, help you out, like, hey, have you considered this? Come over here where we're thinking. Sneako has a tendency to act very self-deprecating, but also very confident. And, you know, it's a pretty big running theme in his videos. I think it's a very real possibility that Sneako intentionally includes clips of him being not just dumb for humility's sake, but also a little bit passive-aggressive, a little bit immature, a little bit overly confident, kind of exaggerating his ego humorously to balance the moments where he comes across like he knows everything. You know, he doesn't want to come across like a god. He kind of balances comedy and serious points together. You know, he'll intersplice cuts of him making a point with him, you know, falling down, you know, saying something stupid, looking like an idiot, right? And there's a little bit of humility there, a little bit of self-awareness you gotta have to be able to do that.
My ego's also telling me to add like a little joke after I show the video so that I don't come off like too much of a tryhard, and like it's like a self-deprecating joke I would usually insert here.
So the original catalyst for this video was the whole relationship issues that he's been having and some of his public grievances about relationships and love in general, and that's not really anything new with him.
True love takes commitment, it takes patience and attention, and that sounds like a lot of work, bro.
But the thing is that's not the reason that I'm making this video. I've been wanting to make a video on Sneako for a long time. It's just more that it's indicative of a shift in perspective for him.
Watch, click back on this video in 1 year and I'm gonna be rich. And no, it's not for the material objects, it's not for all that wasted time. It's because
I am dumber, but I'm a lot happier. I'm not thinking as introspectively and questioning reality all the time like I was at 16. I spend way more time now with the simple pleasures, drugs, women, shiny shit.
But what Sneako does when he goes from one video saying that money is important and then the next saying that money doesn't mean anything is he builds a little bit of duality. But I think, you know, there's more duality than just that with him because he also acts very mature but also incredibly juvenile, you know, and he'll admit that. In a lot of his videos he'll make jokes or say things solely, it seems, to just contradict some of the maturity that he builds as part of his character. It's this constant balance, the duality I'd mentioned, between introspection and the arrogance it invites versus a more relatable and unpretentious perspective. And like I said before, I think that's something that keeps his content fresh and keeps him honest, is he doesn't really stay in one spot. He's constantly challenging his own ideas, and you know, some of his fans might not like that. I might not like that. I don't know at this point. You know, I think it's fine for him to believe like however he wishes, right? And I think it's fine for him to put that out there and tell people what he wants to say, but I don't think he really realizes that his philosophies and these new ideas that he's trying out, these things that he's trying to impress upon people, it's got a real life impact. You know, he's affected his ex-girlfriend, he's affecting his followers that look up to him or that believe in what he's saying. And I think the main problem is that Sneako is handling this entire breakup situation in a very immature way. It makes for great content. It's very entertaining as a viewer, but this entire breakup video, it was edited like a joke.
We didn't?
No.
I'm like 99% sure that we had an open relationship.
You decide that.
But what am I supposed to do? Like, if you're not here for 5-6 months?
I mean, 5 months obviously is a long time, right? But that was before it got that long, wasn't it? Ah, okay.
It was like 2 months. It was like 2 months you were gone.
So, I could have been back anytime.
You're still not back though, like nothing.
Yeah, exactly. This is why we're not together anymore. That's the whole point.
All right, so you're probably starting to kind of turn against him at this point. So to get back to the positive attributes of Sneako. Sneako has this series on his side channel where he does kind of like a little podcast deal. One of the biggest things I've learned about him through the podcast that I wouldn't know from his more heavily edited videos is that in conversation, he's really good at hearing people out. You know, somebody will come at him with an opposing view or even outright attack his views. And he's pretty respectful of that. It's not to say that everything that Sneako does, he's not a god, right? He's a guy, a young guy, and he seems to be still making mistakes, which is good, you know, as long as he learns from them. I think what a lot of us, his fans, are worried about is some of that self-reflection and some of that self-awareness that he's had throughout his life, he's starting to kind of lose a little bit. That grip that he had on himself, it's kind of slipping a little bit. Hope it's not the case, but sometimes you just got to have somebody bring you back down. You know, I could see myself if I had as many followers as he did, if I had as many people looking up to me as he did, especially with his very cult-like fan base. He mentioned in one of his videos that if he started a cult, people would join. You know, one of my big fears is that, like, people will start looking to me for advice or watching my videos and expecting that what I say is serious or meant to be taken literally. And I can only imagine it's probably a very terrifying feeling to have that responsibility on your hands, that anything you say and anything you do holds so much more weight when that many people are watching you. Like, you know, I might start feeling the same way. I might start getting a little bit ahead of myself. I might start feeling like, you know, like I'm the best, you know? And, you know, the thing is that Sneako is very close to 1 million subscribers. He's gonna get there, you know, he is. His content's great. Whether or not you like him or not, like I said, his videos are very well done. It's just a matter of time before there's even more eyes on him. And so when you got a lot of people looking at you, when you got a lot of new fans and new followers, it's hard to say what the long-lasting effects will be. We don't really know how his fame might get to him, right? At this point, a lot of people are throwing around accusations one way or the other, but it's kind of hard to say. Everybody could be wrong about him, right? Like, he might be fine. You know, for all I know, Sneako's just trolling, or he's doing satire. That might not be a very liable, likely possibility, but it's also not completely out of the question, you know? And I think it's a little bit unfair. We on the internet, we're so quick to judge somebody and so quick to form conclusions about a person that chooses to share what they want to share with us. Sneako is, you know, pretty ahead of his peers in most respects. He's only 22. I'd say financially, spiritually, you know, I think he knows himself pretty well. You know, there's a lot of things that he does in his videos and seems to carry with him in life that are conducive to a lot of success. He might be running from some stuff, but he knows deep down that all this cheating, polygamy stuff that he's trying to sell, I don't think he really believes it. You know, I think some people it works for them, but you can kind of see a little bit of a pause with him in his words when he's trying to rationalize his behavior, and I think that that's him realizing somewhere in there that this just ain't it.
What would you miss about me?
I just miss you, period. Like, just no homo. I mean, I just...
Yeah, I kinda miss you too, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I think he lacks the diligence to really set aside the time and figure out how to be good with interpersonal relationships. You know, where he's at, he's got the money, he's got the fame, you know, he's got all this other stuff figured out, and so I think he's kind of got into his head that he doesn't need anybody else, but anybody could tell him, you know, you need people around you, you need a good support system, you need you know, relationships to succeed. Because at the end of the day, all that other stuff isn't going to get you anywhere. And you know, there's a real possibility that he's just playing up some of these issues with his relationship for views. You know, it's doing well right now, and the whole controversy thing is it's a pretty tried and true formula. Maybe that's just all part of the YouTube game. You know, his new focus on fame and viewership takes precedence over his influence. And I think that's something to be wary of. I think he should be cognizant of that. If that's the road he wants to go down, it's kind of a slippery slope. I know I've said it a lot, but I'm going to say it again. I think that this shift in Sneako and this constant internal battle is feelings of insecurity about his deserving an audience. Something you have to get past at a certain point, something you have to kind of own, is that insecurity. That constant feeling is something that you should wear with pride. And I think that, honestly, maybe that's Sneako's problem, is that he hasn't learned that from himself. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this one was a little bit longer, so thank you for sticking it out this far. I know some of the editing was a little bit less linear and a little bit harder to follow, but I wanted to make an accurate portrayal of Sneako as I see him. You know, for a long time I've been wanting to show his channel to people, but I almost feel this embarrassment because I don't want people to believe that I necessarily agree with all of his ideas. I just like his videos. If you guys did enjoy, don't forget to comment down below. Sneako sent me. And I will see all of you lovely little wizards in the next video when I film my ego death. Bye. Roar. Alright, now that that's over, hey, how's it going, wizards? And welcome back to a brand new video. Make up a joke and then improvise laughter. I'm just kidding, guys. There's nothing written on this paper. I have this green screen here to relieve some tension. Oh, wow, somebody went through his prop drawer. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Boring Federal Crimes. Today we're looking through my neighbor's mail. I think I scared some geese. Oh, dude, this is what Pink Floyd was talking about.